Let's talk about the Flash first because
Flash first.
Yeah, mostly.
So this is starting now. I think you
yeah,
got us live, right?
We are live.
Yeah.
Hey, we're live.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Here.
¿Dónde están mis pantalones?
We're at the
I can't help you.
square table.
Secret location.
In somewhere Jersey.
Hello,
Hi.
folks.
Where are we looking? Oh,
That one.
Do I need
That,
a
blue
blue
light?
light?
No, you're good.
Blue light.
All right.
Blue light.
Yeah. We've done this on
Why do we move this all the time?
Chat. Every chat we do this thing where we just talk about, we break the fourth wall in the beginning.
That's the thing. You're gonna have to do it no matter what nowadays. Now,
Muta.
God damn it, muted.
We always
do
the
this.
same things.
It's the same thing every
time.
You think we'd have our shit together, but because we start
No,
so
you
late.
didn't. You muted it last time because I wasn't here.
But yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So we got Jason. He's back from last week. Thornberry, Super Thornberry.
Super Thornberry.
Super Thornberry.
Don't eat my potato. Elgator. Elgato.
Elgato.
Thanks, man.
What's up, Nintendo PSX?
I spy a couple losers.
Couple losers.
These are the couple.
I'm sorry.
Damn it, you got me.
There's only two.
We're the cool kids.
Damn it.
So, and ye old Greg and...
Ye old Greg.
Pete. Whatever.
Pete,
That
a.k.a.
guy
Illuminati.
Yeah.
That guy.
Stupid autocorrect.
Stupid autocorrect, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
should turn it off.
So this is
We're gonna start. This is episode Super 8.
Super
Super 8. Great pun.
8 of these things, bro.
Episode
intended.
GLJVD. Pun definitely intended. We're gonna talk about the superhero stuff.
Punisher.
Oh.
How about that?
Yeah.
There you go.
He's trying to stay stuff and you keep interrupting him.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
Alright, so we got a spoiler-filled episode today because what came out?
Well,
Daredevil came out.
Daredevil came out last week.
And I'm finished. I think everyone here finished.
I didn't finish, but we can still talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't finish?
Yeah,
The 2 episodes of The Flash.
The Flash.
Well, Flash Supergirl. But
That's-
it really,
you're right.
We can skip the Flash altogether.
I guess. I haven't watched it, but yeah, whatever.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
No.
too bad.
I don't care about the Supergirl Flash, but I care about yesterday.
They don't really reveal too much in the new Flash episode.
That was just a real team up. It was like everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Alright, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
fine.
And Supergirl and Flash, they didn't really do shit at all.
Yeah, there was no conducive storyline to either plot.
Okay.
Though it kind of makes you think that something's going to happen in
Actually,
the future.
Flash did a lot. He brought the ratings of Supergirl for a week.
He did.
For a week, yeah.
For a week.
That episode makes you think that something in the future of Flash is going to happen that brings him into the Supergirl universe.
Probably when they cancel Supergirl, she'll probably end up in the Flash universe.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Crisis of Infinite Earths type thing where everything just turns into one.
Yeah, how about he's got like some device on his chest.
Oh, that's
that
from
was
the
the
show.
tachyon.
Yeah.
I think it was something to do with the tachyons because remember it was on Dr. Wells's
Right,
suit.
yeah. But there's never an episode where
But
Flash
Wells uses that to get faster.
Yeah.
So that was his way of boosting his speed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Now
he's
in the
using
new
it to
episode, he's got
He
the
overshot.
flash drive.
Yeah,
so.
he overshot where he was going.
But
Yeah.
if you watch the Flash
We
episode,
kind of already got into the Flash discussion.
Did you watch the Supergirl episode?
No, I don't care for that.
Oh, you don't care about?
Yeah,
you don't care
it's-
about?
it's
Supergirl?
okay, so let's talk about the Supergirl episode.
All right, so
real quick.
Yeah.
Flash ended up taking Dr. Wells.
Hold on. We actually got to say, also, we're going to end it with Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long.
Yeah.
So,
we're gonna do
spoilers,
Flash,
spoilers.
Daredevil, Batman vs Superman.
Mostly Batman versus Superman. But
We'll go quick with those.
yeah. So with Flash, he had the what do you call it?
It was a tachyon thing to make them go faster.
So he was practicing going faster. He overshot where he was going to. So he
And
ended
he was
up.
like, I'm faster than I thought I was.
Yeah, he ended up in Supergirl's dimension, which means she's in a different
different universe.
Not
universe.
the universe
or
on
different
alternate
Earth.
reality, different
Yeah.
Earth, which they go when they talk about the multiverse being correct. The
So
theory,
Flashman versus Supergirl.
Flash
Is it better than Batman versus Superman?
his opinion.
I know the first 5 minutes was better than Batman versus Superman.
Actually, I don't know. I think Batman vs Superman might be better than Flash.
No.
Superman.
There was very comedic parts of that, which were funny. Like when he brings her the ice cream and she's just like geeks out like a little 5-year-old. I'm like, that's great. But that's her character, and it made sense.
Okay, I haven't actually watched anything from Supergirl except for the pilot in this episode.
Well, that's
I've watched everything.
You're in a lot with a lot of people. In fact, those 2 episodes were the highest ones. So the pilot was had really good rating, and then this with the Flash was the second.
And the pilot was actually better than I expected Supergirl to be.
Yeah.
And then I kept on hearing nothing but bad things. I haven't watched it.
What happened with Supergirl is I started watching a few episodes, then I kind of stopped for whatever reason, just couldn't keep my attention, and then I picked up again. And what's interesting enough is I can completely live without those in-between ones that I miss. I don't have no intention to go and sing them.
I can.
Why is Jimmy black, yo? Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy Olsen?
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, because of diversity.
Hashtag.
If you notice in half these shows, these sidekicks are black.
Yeah.
You have John Diggle.
Yeah.
Wally West.
Wally West.
Sidekick.
Well, Joe.
Joe.
There's an actual meme. No, I don't know. There's an actual meme that shows all beside every superhero, there's a black person.
I had a problem with that with Marvel until Black Panther came out.
Black Panther #1 came out today, so if you can get your hands on one.
Oh,
Black Panther.
I could have gotten it.
Oh, you went to the comic shop today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's Wednesday.
Well, you went to Midtown?
Yeah,
they have a special cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
I want to read Black Panther comics. I know he's really good.
Check it out.
I like him.
You tell me.
You go, listen, black people, I can get you a Black Panther.
Yeah, come on.
That's not
Is that a forum that you guys hang out at? That we can find?
I don't know you're at Midtown.
All right. So
if they have any more, and it's not a ridiculous price,
okay,
just get me a $5 one. I'll give you. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah.
You know I'm good for it.
I remember.
I paid you for a signed zip.
Give me one too.
Yeah. Definitely the black. Right. And then the normal comic shops have the other cover.
You know, it's funny that we're talking about that. I was just reminded that you look like an attractive, non-threatening, ethnical diverse CW cast. That was what Cat Grant said.
That was great. I was
Cat Grant is my favorite character on that show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So far,
Ally McBeal.
Favorite character on that show so far. The way she talks to Kara is like amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the episode. I think a lot of cool things happen.
Yeah,
she used her super breath, which I don't think she uses that much.
No, she doesn't use. She's not crazy about it. She uses it.
When she fought Banshee and Banshee punched her and knocked her across the screen, I had a problem with that.
I had a problem with that too. I was like, wait, when did she become super strong?
Exactly.
Wait, also, when Banshee showed up with that makeup on, I was like, did she just go to a party city and come back? What happened? She has like a skull.
Livewire
on her face.
But then why would Livewire be like, hey, listen, you know what I'm thinking? Skullface. Completely done. That's completely what's got to go on here.
Bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
that's a character. But
correct me if I'm wrong. Livewire was one of the characters that were made on the show and made into the comic book.
It was made on. She debuted in Superman,
the cartoon,
Superman the animated series.
Yeah,
as just like kind of like a filler character, and then like a lot of the animated stuff got so popular, it actually went in and. You know,
and she became a legitimate,
which is really cool. The same thing happened with Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn that happened with John Diggle was the reverse of that.
Yeah.
Like they took him from the show and put him in the comic.
You know what I found really interesting? Mr. Freeze, Nora's wife, was never introduced before the animated series.
Oh, really? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So he had no motivation?
So he had no motivation, and then Tim Bruce was like, hey, why is this guy doing this? So all that stuff that you see like back in the 1966 stuff, that was just all like, Mr. Freeze, ha ha ha, you know? And then all of a sudden, they gave him this dark storyline, which made the character relatable.
Where did the Clock King come from? That's the worst character
I love the Clock King. He's so bad, I love
the worst. His power is he knows what time the train's going to come.
Okay.
That's your power.
Well, what about when did you see
Batman Adventures?
Did you see the Suicide Squad episode of the Justice
Yeah,
League?
yeah.
How on point was he on that?
Batman punches like 1/5 of a second. I'm like, what?
See, Batman Adventures.
No, good. I have it on DVD, man.
All right,
amazing.
I mean,
well, besides
the stuff that we've seen on the Flash, like just in general, like the fight scene between Supergirl and the characters that were there wasn't anything special.
No,
it wasn't anything like fantastic, and then on top of it, I just feel like it didn't have as much potential as it could have had.
They had a Q&A with the producers of The Flash, and they asked, are we going to see Barry get any more powers? And the producer laughed and was like, you're going to be seeing that spin lightning thing for a while. They don't want him to get too powerful.
That was another thing I hated.
So, like, he uses that a lot, man.
But why did he use it on Livewire? Livewire.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what
come on. That's a plot.
He did it before.
He's a scientist.
He's a scientist.
He did it before.
Barry's a really dumb scientist. Like, even in the Flash TV series, he's pretty dumb. Like, for the most part, he's a pretty dumb guy. Until he read that, like, all those books from Earth 2.
I did like how it ended up, the mortals helping out Supergirl and, saving the day in a sense. Thought it was a little,
Speaking of Flash, did you guys see Godspeed? The new villain?
Yeah, it's the white suit with gold trimming.
Yeah.
Amazing. Looks amazing. How do you know? I posted it on Facebook.
Oh, because I have.
Basically,
because I work.
Stop working and look at my page.
It's like Arceus from Pokemon.
Go on there right now. Look at you need to see. He looks like Firefly.
He's
but
definitely
white.
He's definitely based on Hermes, though, like the Greek god.
Well, wasn't Flash?
Sort of, but you can see.
I apologize.
You can
More,
see it.
Yeah, you have to see.
Nigel's,
just go straight to my page. Go a couple of things back. Ignore the Clooney Tunes thing.
That was great.
It's funny. I know it's great, but ignore that.
I see it. Godspeed. Okay, what does he say?
So they announced.
Oh, it's a Flash villain. Okay.
Yeah. They announced this at one of the shows that they had, the WonderCon.
WonderCon,
which I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, DC had a heavy presence.
They did. Like, I didn't even know.
Really?
Where's WonderCon at?
It's in
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Yeah, it's basically the offbeat San Diego Comic Con.
I was gonna say, why am I just not hearing about this?
So San Diego has two.
This is Godspeed.
So the two convention centers.
It's really white.
Oh, it's just Arceus.
So the only two cons that San Diego runs, the San Diego Comic Con, I forget what they're. Do you remember the name of the people that make it?
Of what?
The people
are they watching?
that run San Diego Comic Con.
Okay.
Not Repop.
Oh, I don't know.
It's where we went to D23 at.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's in that
but they only do those two.
Is that the guy I met?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
But they do those two. It's getting more popular because if you try to get convention space there, they're like saying, "Oh yeah, we'll give you more space for Comic-Con if you do WonderCon," and obviously people always want more space, so it's getting a lot more popular.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, for him, the episode didn't do too much to move.
It didn't do anything to move any to the plot. Anything, in my personal opinion, it did not do anything to move either plot forward except the love interest between Jimmy and her. That was it. And then
and then they had the ending, the big ending.
Okay, it took 5 minutes.
Wait, what happened at the beginning?
No, at the ending.
The very ending, when remember how like all of a sudden the guy turned on that button and then it started making all the humans go on a single line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was Supergirl, and to summed up that episode, it was good to see Flash and Supergirl, but I would still like the, Supergirl. I still like the Flash Arrow crossovers much better.
Yes. Well, I think the Arrow and Flash play well off of each other with the dark brooding and the comedic. He's not really comedic, but he's starting to get comedic of Barry.
Yeah.
So
I think Supergirl and Flash can play off each other well. If they, I wish they kind of made it in the same universe though, so they could do this more often.
I think it was hard to do this as it was. Yeah. Like to get both these characters. God, they did have some TV time where they were saying, watch Flash on the CW.
Well,
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
The thing is what I think CW is owned by WB and CBS.
Okay.
So that was really the only way that it actually happened. If it was on any other network like Fox, it probably would have never happened. But it can happen again. I actually kind of hope that Supergirl doesn't make it on CBS much longer and then goes to the CW. Because
I feel like it is a CW show.
It is a CW show.
It's
because if you notice it, he did say that there was a central city.
On the show?
On the show, he's like, there's a central city, but there's no his characters.
Yeah, none of his characters are in there. Cisco,
Caitlin, Dr. Wells,
none of those.
No, not even Star Labs.
Yeah, Star Labs.
So, at what point did he go to Central City to see that?
He just looked it up. He was just like Googling.
Oh, on the computer. Yeah. He looked on the computer. All right, that makes sense. The budget for Supergirl is way too high. It is.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's fun, but how can that?
It won't come to CW. I think I feel like CW could make it work though.
CW could make it work if they decide.
If the ratings pick up and it becomes one of their top rated shows, they'll put the money into it. I believe.
I don't even think that. I think if CW retains the ones that are staying there, like the ones that are sticking with it, and then adds the storyline to the multiverse, I think you'll have a solid show.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing that happened with Buffy. They were going to cancel Buffy, and then they sent it to another channel, and it survived like another couple years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think they could do it with. God, I can't spell.
Yeah, the salary is spelled wrong.
So let's talk about the Flash episode.
Let's fast forward to Flash. So Tuesday, with the Flash, the normal showing of the Flash, it's not coming back till it's taking another break.
Really? Is it?
I wasn't paying attention.
Why?
I think it's taking another break.
It just came back.
I think you lie.
I think it's taking another.
I think you're lying.
It better not.
I think you're lying.
I think it's taking another break, dude.
They literally had 2 episodes.
I went to the Twitter page.
Somebody search that.
Yeah, see if GLJVD, when's the Flash? When's the next episode of Flash?
19th.
The 19th, April 19th, right?
Yes.
Told you.
That's a week off.
People were complaining.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. What the fuck?
Yeah, still, dude.
What the fuck, man?
That's bullshit.
And they have a Zoom episode coming up.
What the fuck?
That's bullshit.
Come on, CW.
You get Flash 2 nights, you pay for it. That's what happens.
God.
You guys gotta tell me. I knew. I went on the Twitter page that night because I didn't watch
Twitters.
I tweeted, and people were complaining that it's taking another break. Like right after.
I agree. I completely. If I went on Twitter that much, I would be complaining too.
Amazing show, but that's my number one complaint about Flash.
It's so slow.
The breaks.
April 12th. Wait, what?
Is it the 12th or 9th? I think it's the 19th.
The 12th.
You think it's the 19th because someone just told you it was the
19th?
I'm
pretty. I looked it up on Twitter, dude.
He looked it up.
Joe is like on computer.
We're all looking.
Okay,
you guys can look.
I'm going on Twitter right now.
Look ridiculous.
I can go with 1 week. I can't go with till the 19th.
Yeah,
White dude, Nigel Thornberry, Greg Illuminati.
What up, Bob? It's still.
What's up, Bob?
It's still ridiculous that there's a break.
It's a 1 week break.
But still,
it's still.
All right. So, what did we think about the episode? Let's start from the very, very beginning, if everybody remembers it.
So what happened in the very beginning? Barry was in the thing trying to figure out the formula to make himself faster.
Correct. Okay, so yeah, that's the plot line. All right, now I just remembered it. So basically,
you didn't mean to do that.
I jumpstart like the Flash.
Okay,
yeah. So basically, he starts off and he's trying to get faster to fight Zoom. And then they're going back and he's doing everything and they're trying to analyze everything and it's just not working. So they finally get this. Wally has a stroke of genius where he starts reading past journals from other people who used to like make cars, stuff like that.
They make that kid Keenan say some really big words on that show. There had to be someone in the corner whispering it to me because some of the names that he says.
Well, if he has to pronounce his name, he can.
Of course, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah. But like he was talking about some guy that he was reading up about speed. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. But like he has a really
like motor companies, wasn't he?
Was he talking about motor? I thought he was talking about like a person.
Ford.
Like
Ford. It wasn't Ford.
Chrysler.
I think he said BMW, and then that was my headphone. Oh my god! It's like, oh no, but he has a Australian accent. Yeah. So like, but to hear him pronunciate some of these things and know what we know about him is like crazy.
So we all know that he goes back in time to get the speed formula from, oh my god, Eobard Thawne.
Yes.
Eobard Thawne. Not Dr. Wells, but Eobard Thawne. And within like the first 10-15 minutes, Eobard Thawne figures it out, calls him out on it, but makes him get rid of the what was it called? The time wraith.
The time wraith, yes.
Yeah. And then after that, they figure it out. He gives him the formula, goes back, and they figure out a way to...
It's the 19th. He said, the site says it's the 19th. Not to cut you off.
The CW says the 12th.
It's the 19th, dude.
Why wouldn't you believe the CW?
People were complaining online about it.
They probably Twitter, I believe that.
Twitter never lies, dude.
But the CW.
Yeah, it does.
The internet never lies, bro.
Call of Duty lied when they did those stupid fake terrorist attacks. Did you see that shit?
I saw
Planet of the Apes lied. Remember with the monkey shooting the AK-47?
Horrible.
All right, go. Finish your...
So anyways... So he goes to, he gets the Speed Force, and then some things change with the Pied Piper where he becomes an ally versus a villain. And they figure out the Speed Force formula, and it basically has to do with the tachyons that had gotten Dr. Wells / Eobard Thawne / Reverse Flash back. And,
yes.
Yeah. And
so the Flash the show is messing with me right now because I know for a fact yes, the guy that plays Eddie's on another show.
Yeah.
Right now.
Correct.
Signed to it. But for him to be back on Flash, it's messing with my mind with the guy with the mask on.
Wasn't he on Quantico?
Yes.
Yeah, and then he died. Like,
did they kill him off of Quantico?
Yeah, like he jumped off of. It's
only
jeez.
I don't watch
that show.
I don't watch. He's dying. What's wrong? Is he the new? What's his name? Sean Bean. He just dies in everything he's in.
I don't watch.
Even that show died, right?
I don't watch Quantico. I know it's popular.
I think it did die.
It was like way beginning, and I guess I don't really watch it either.
But so can he be back on Flash now? Is that the deal?
Be on whatever. It's a tie. This is what I love about the Flash.
So
Eddie is the man in the mask.
That's what I'm saying. Like, now they mess with me because like the big thing was that it's Eddie. Yeah. You remember he got sucked in the portal, and they're saying that now he's the guy in the mask. I was like, he can't be him. He's dead, or he's not on the show. But him being on the show now for this episode. Blew my mind because now
we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, now it could be. Now it could be him. Yeah,
mask is. It's possible.
That theory can come back up now because like he's back on the show for whatever.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible.
I love the fact that.
So what did
Tom Cavanaugh? That's his name.
Yeah,
could play Wells and Eobard Thawne like so well.
Yeah. Very
like
true.
to see him go back to that. Yeah, to see him go back to that character.
To me, it's like he can play. It's good and evil, right? But if you look at Eobard Thawne's character, right, he just played the same as he's playing now. Because he's kind of like a dick now. Hey.
Well, yeah, he's a dick.
It says Barry's dad, who's the guy in the mask. He's the Flash from the original TV series in the 90s.
I don't know about that. Like it could be. Who said that? Who's it?
What?
It's Barry. See how JVD thinks it's the dad.
It's possible. I mean, like
there's 1,000 different theories. They could change it up.
I don't think they would play on that.
But to put that theory back into play by having him on the because a lot of people were saying it's Eddie. He's got the blonde hair. And I was like, oh, he's on another
You
show.
saw blonde. I didn't see blonde hair.
Yeah, they showed blonde. When they showed the mask close up, there was blonde hair.
They showed from the back.
Oh, okay.
They showed a view behind him, and you could see blonde hair going up.
Okay.
So, like, to put Eddie back in play like that was, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah, I like that the Piper is back as a good guy, too. That's interesting.
Well,
Yeah, he was good.
I think that was because the timeline.
Yeah, the timeline.
The sound gloves.
So at this point, he didn't blow anything
He's
up.
back. He's back in the episode.
Yeah,
I see.
and he was cool.
Okay.
And they saved him, and that was a great reference to Harry Potter, by the way. That was so funny.
Yeah.
I love that. He was like, "What's Dementor? Harry Potter."
Yeah, and then he's like, I was like, Harry Potter.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good. I'm gonna go home and watch it again too. Like I double up on Flash episode just in case there's something I missed. But they did do some time running. And they had the little flat. I didn't watch it.
It's funny because I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch them either, so I definitely want to go back and watch those times.
But they showed Supergirl in that timeline. That was the only thing that
she crossed over again.
Yeah.
So she had two crossover.
When
episodes.
Flash went to Earth 2, they showed her face in that.
So when he's going back in time in that scene in the
new one,
new one, you saw Supergirl.
Oh, you saw it again?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they did it again, and I didn't watch the little timeline jump. So I definitely want to go and watch it again.
How much more Flash do we have?
Lucifer is horrible. Like, stop it.
Are you almost done with?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
So
what'd you think? What'd you think?
I think it was a decent. It was a decent episode. Yeah.
Who did Zoom have hanging off the roof? The girl.
Oh,
was that Will's daughter?
Girl.
He had when he came into.
Now you're making me want to watch it again.
Did you not? So when
I know who you're talking
Did you
about.
even watch it?
Did you even watch? You just had it on noise in the background.
Just
when Cisco came into the room the first time, he had the books, and then he got close to the hat.
Yeah,
the helmet. Hat, whatever. He had a flashback of Zoom holding a girl.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Off of a roof.
But I wasn't paying attention to it. It might have been Caitlin. It might have been the
yeah,
daughter.
I definitely want to go back.
Yeah, it could have been any woman in the show.
It might have been this guy's daughter again.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
So,
but I think it was a decent episode of Flash. I didn't
that
really.
outside the window though, freaky.
There's no one outside the window.
You can't even see it. Look at the reflection.
That's the TV outside the window.
The reflection is so strong.
Let's try though.
I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a good episode. It was.
Yeah, it's a good building episode.
And then it gave you a good sense of where they were season 1 too.
They it did remind you of season. It reminded me of season 1. It took me back to all those characters that I loved and whatever.
That show's so good.
Yeah.
Like
the part where
you didn't even think
the part that always gets me because Flash runs on so many different emotions. But he gave her the phone and it had Eddie.
Oh, that was great.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
And then he was telling her like it closed that chapter.
Doesn't that show you how much he loves her though? Like he's she's
like I'm dating this new dude. And he's like, oh well, let me go back in time and get your old boyfriend,
so you can have some
closure.
So you get some
closure and not date me still. So, but yeah, amazing.
It's like, come on, Iris, just ping him. just do it. Come on, he deserves it. At this point, he deserves it.
I don't know if anybody like.
It's messed up.
Daddy.
That is fucking daddy.
But like, it's funny how like we love him now, but I remember at one point I kind of didn't like Eddie.
Really?
Yeah, I
didn't like him in the beginning.
I thought he was like annoying.
His character was thrown in a situation that wasn't his fault, being related to Harrison Wells, and I guess us knowing that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like him in the beginning because he was a dick. He was a dick to Barry.
Yeah.
But understandably so. Barry was trying to bang his girl.
Yeah. Which brings me.
All right, let's get to something we all saw, that we all can talk about, that we all have feelings about, whether they're good or bad. Batman versus Superman.
No, it's a Daredevil.
Oh, you want to do Daredevil?
Yeah, we discussed this in the beginning.
We can do Daredevil in like 15 minutes.
Well, I didn't finish Daredevil,
sure.
so I'm going to be quiet through most of this because I know you guys.
Yeah, it won't be a very long discussion on Daredevil because I don't feel like there's a lot to talk about, even though it's like a long
show.
Like, I feel they kind of...
Was 10 episodes?
13.
13? Okay.
And they stayed in the same beats for most of the episodes, though. So
you know what I didn't like about it? I felt like there was 3 storylines going on at the whole time, and during time. You have the Elektra storyline going on, you have the Punisher storyline going on, and then you have his arc.
Yeah.
And
you did.
And it's taking away from the focus of him. Like, it's like I would have loved to see more of a team up than.
Oh, cool! A.K. Lizard King's now hosting us. Nice.
But yeah, like I was at episode 10 already, and I didn't know like who's the main bad guy?
Exactly, or who's the main character at that point?
Right?
I don't care about the main character. I know it's the 3 of them.
Yeah,
but it's like what's this leading up to?
Yeah,
I didn't know what.
And they kind of threw Nobu in there, right?
At the very end, they're like, wait, we want to make up for him burning up and like going away.
We want to make up for Daredevil accidentally killing him. Because it was like all about, oh man, Daredevil, I don't kill anyone. Punisher, you should stop. Oh wait.
What about that one guy I lit up? And he even admitted it too. He was like, "There was this one time."
And I felt like that was so. It was like they forgot to put a bad guy in the show.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we still have Nobu. We just bring him back to life.
And they were like, oh wait, hold on. We want to make Punisher
wait, is
bad guy.
that ninja?
Yeah.
That died in the
fire.
Yeah.
The fire.
He came back.
Exactly. How did he come back? How far are you into the show right now?
What did I get to? I got to the point where they had him tied up on the roof.
Yeah.
But
So that's not too far. It's like halfway through.
That's like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's like halfway through.
I mean, I thought it was a good season. I thought it was.
I love Punisher.
I love Punisher.
Punisher was great.
Punisher was great in that.
Dude, when he was taking those headshots and backing him up, I was like, just keep doing it. Just
crazy.
keep doing what you're doing.
Crazy.
Oh man, fucking love.
You know what I noticed too? He just stands up and holds that gun, dude. That's strength and accuracy.
Well, that's probably just them being inaccurate with how
It is also possibly that. Yes. I laughed, but I loved the scene where he's like murdering all those dudes in prison.
Yeah, that was
great.
awesome.
When they locked
so cool.
wait, I'm lying. I did see that.
Oh, you saw that?
When they locked.
No, that was literally.
Kingpin locked him.
Yeah.
That's literally a Walking Dead moment.
Oh yeah, that was
you
totally
know that
Walking Dead
that was
moment.
Shane coming out of nowhere, being like, "I got this."
That's the thing. Well, I don't know. Is John Bernthal playing Shane or is he playing Rick? I feel like he's playing Rick.
I feel like he's more Rick in that show.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Rick now.
Rick now.
Yeah, he's Rick
but
now.
That's another topic.
Yeah, is that true?
What?
No, it's not true.
God.
Why would you believe that?
Why?
I'm just completely ignoring
Who do you
anything
think
about
who's it coming from?
I'm real dude.
He's probably sitting in there giggling right now.
Schoolgirl, like stop with your bad information.
But another thing I really liked about it, they did that thing where they have the ongoing scene they don't cut from. It's like him just like kicking the shit out of people.
Yeah.
He's giggling. I like the way they did that.
Although they tricked you with that. It was not one full shot.
Yeah, of course.
They changed the suit early in the movie, the show too, right?
Which
They
So
swapped
was.
the Daredevil.
They only changed
the
the
helmet and the
helmet.
gloves.
But they changed
Yeah, the helmet and
that,
the
though.
gloves. Yeah, and then they towards the end, spoilers, they give him the
his real Billy Club.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. And then you see him like
So
he's like so happy about it too. He's like,
can he
this
not
is
throw
the
them
best
anymore and do the little wall?
No, he
what
throws it.
What
but
was
he brings it
happening
back,
is,
'cause-
and even I noticed it too, because he has the 2 here, and he kept throwing them, and they were going ding 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 ding, and they were like knocking all over the place and being loud. And now with the Billy Club one, he can throw it, but he's throwing the line and it's coming back to him, so he can knock people out.
So it has the zip line.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And it's like extendable, so
Yeah,
it's
so it could
basically he's got a power pole from
Are
Dragon
they
Ball.
doing
Like the original one, like
Yeah.
in the movie. Remember how he went like shh that?
Yeah.
Are they doing any comic book cover shots or like him on the cross, like they tried to do in the movie?
The only one that they did was directly from the comics was where he was tied up. So that I noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge.
I felt like the
You know,
scene where he
so.
was on the church Before he went in and showed them like standing in the slide.
Yeah, that feels like a comic book.
That felt like a comic book cover type thing.
He did have a superhero landing.
He had a couple of superhero landings.
But so what do you guys think
of the microphone is all types of wrong.
This is a kid's show, darn it. A kid's show. Oh, good.
Wait, what happened?
Because it's like the way it's pointed.
Oh, because
it's phallic, whatever. Everyone always does that. Katrina Law would have been a better Elektra. I actually
Which
like
one's
the girl
Katrina?
who played
Wait,
Elektra.
who's Katrina Law?
I
feel like the girl.
I like her.
I like the choice for Elektra.
Yeah, that's Katrina Law.
Okay, yeah.
That's Katrina
Law. I like the girl that played Elektra. I do. Because she's kind of...
I want to like her, but I
it's something, you just keep comparing her to Katrina Law.
She's so good.
And you know, what's so easy? It's so easy to make that comparison because
they're the same character.
It's the same story.
Exactly.
It's legit the same story.
Legit the same. So you're just like
Nessa, yeah.
It's like beat for beat the same story as Batman against Ra's al Ghul and
it's exactly
Nessa, except for the fact that Elektra's not the daughter of a member of the League of Shadows.
Yeah. Nessa is also not the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, right?
She is.
Talia is one too.
Yeah,
Talia's the main one.
Talia's the main
she's
sister,
the
but
she's Batman's main bae.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then you have that.
Nessa is the more level-headed one.
Oh.
Talia's like
crazy.
Yeah. Batman likes crazy chicks.
Likes crazy.
But yeah, like that's the same. Like basically, Talia and Elektra are the same character, but Nessa from Arrow is kind of replacing Talia and Arrow.
So I know you haven't watched it. You've completed it.
Well, I'm gonna finish it probably this week, hopefully.
Overall, what would you say? Watch it? Don't watch it?
I know
definitely watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it. I know we kind of
watch it. We won't get more.
I know we kind of like.
What kind of mindset
focus on the negative.
What kind of mindset do you need to go into watching it?
Same mindset you had in the first season, I think, because I feel like it is the only thing I would say it's not as good as the first season is that it doesn't have as good of a villain.
That's
half a villain.
Yeah, it doesn't have a villain until like the last 3 episodes of the show. Yeah. They finally introduce a villain, but I think that John Berthol's Punisher kind of makes up for that.
Yeah,
and I know you guys say Elektra, you'd rather have that girl as Elektra, but I really enjoyed her, and I enjoyed her and Matt Murdock's relationship.
I wish they did.
I did enjoy it. I'm just saying it would have been better as a different
actress. Wish from what I saw, I don't know if they changed it up more towards the end, but I wish they did more with Elektra's costume.
No, they don't.
They did
they kind of
tease something at the end.
She looks like a ninja from Mortal Kombat for a little while.
Yeah, she looks like she looks like Scarlet or whatever.
Yeah, she looks like Scarlet. More clothes on.
When she goes into that huge
thing, they have her like
wrapped up in the red
ribbon,
which is the Elektra.
Yeah. She didn't have the little head thing on.
No, she still does the
do-rag.
Yeah, she had the do-rag on.
Yeah, but right. I do feel like they did a good job with the casting. What they did with what they had. John Berthol kills it with Daredevil with the Punisher. Foggy, I think, makes those scenes without Daredevil watchable.
Yeah,
like Foggy is fantastic. I love that guy,
especially when he's with the Hell's Angels type characters.
Yeah,
and he's just standing up to them, and he's yo, and he's mentioning everybody that he's helped from them, and then he goes,
whoa. I feel like he's one of the best characters.
When he does one of those things where he starts spewing law out, like when he's trying to get
so great.
Yeah, she's the girl's like impressed that he could do that. It's like that's incredible.
Yeah, especially when the DA came up and he's like, I'm just calling the Department of Justice.
I really like Foggy.
It really makes you feel like they fight for their client.
Correct.
Like,
doesn't matter who it is.
He puts his heart and soul out there, and you can. And the guy who plays him really fucking sells it. And perfect. Yeah. I think that guy is a perfect casting for Foggy.
Do you think that the second season of Daredevil was just as strong, or if not better, than the first?
I think it was just as strong. I don't think
it's either just as strong or
Slightly.
I'll say slightly. I'd say slightly.
You know what? The reason why
because
is because the Kingpin was so good.
He was fantastic.
And he was your main. You knew where season 1 was going.
Yeah. And
this one you have
season 2. You're like, all right, you're telling that story. You're telling Elektra's story. You're telling Daredevil's story, but it's like, who are they? Where's
what's
this
the
leading
end goal?
to?
What's the end
It's kind of like Avengers and Age of Ultron, where Age of Ultron kind of leads to other things in the future, but better than Age of Ultron was. Yeah. But it's leading to things like that are happening in Marvel's future.
If you look at it too, right? Punisher had a completely different bad guy than Daredevil actually had.
Yeah.
He was going after the blacksmith. He found the blacksmith, killed the blacksmith, and then was done with it. He could have just left. Like, he could have been like, all right, cool. Like, I hear that. Yeah, fuck
instead, he was like, I'm gonna spray paint my logo. I just figured it out. And I know where Daredevil is. So
I know that guy.
I might as well help him.
He helped me out that one time. I love how he called him Red every time. He's like, hey,
that was cool.
Yeah.
I like their bromance going on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
That's really cool.
What was really weird is, like, at the end, Daredevil's just cool with everyone just killing other people as long as it's not him killing them.
Right? Yeah, he's cool with... Well, no, because remember they were cadavers? They kind of, like, covered their tracks on that.
Yeah, I guess. They're already dead.
Yeah, they're already dead.
Yeah, they are already dead people.
You know what?
It is The Walking Dead at the end of the season.
It sounds like they have zombies in the show now.
Yeah.
So basically, just like Ra's al Ghul, this League of Shadows, is also looking for the key to immortality, and they found it sort of, and they're like trying to get more power because of that. But they can bring themselves back to life.
Yeah. You know what I love though, and I'm going to leave it at this. My favorite scenes was like when Daredevil was impressed with himself, and he just like, like a guy that just did his max at the gym.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
So, are we expecting Bullseye to be the next bad guy?
Probably.
That's like the only other.
The only one that you can think of.
I just hope that they cast Colin Farrell as Bullseye.
as redemption.
Stupid. Bullseye. Oh
God. Get it? Fucking get Colin Farrell. He's a terrible actor.
I don't know. Was he good?
There are like no good movies he's good in, except for Phone Booth. That was good.
Didn't he kill the lady with the toothpick on the plane or something when she was snoring?
Oh, he
thumped it and
it was the peanut, and he got her to choke on it.
He's like watching her choke.
Yeah, he gets really close.
Man, he's diabolical.
And he like flicked it off of that.
But like unlike some of the other actors in the Daredevil movie, he's got no redeeming movies after that, except for Phone Booth. Phone Booth is like the one movie that I think he was good in.
You didn't like Total Recall.
Obviously, you didn't like Total Recall. That movie was awful.
All right. Sidetrack. Let's get to the main.
But we did talk about Daredevil, which has Ben Affleck.
True.
And to that brings us to Batman versus Superman.
Greg Way.
Good segue,
so
Greg Way.
I've seen it
That's
3 times. 2 in IMAX, 1 in standard.
That's how many hours is that?
That is
that's 7.5
hours.
Yeah,
but if you go with trailers,
with trailers it's like
3
close
hours.
to 9, right?
Yeah.
Buy GL DVD.
Later. I think he's just saying that to talk about that.
Oh, he hasn't seen it yet.
He hasn't seen it.
Oh, he hasn't seen it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought he was going to watch it.
He's going Tuesday? Next
Text
Tuesday?
me when you're done with the BVS. Well, that's going to be it.
That's going to be the end of this then.
Yeah. We're going to be on Batman Superman for a while, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the rest of this.
So if you don't care about spoilers, then stick around. If you do, then there's a chance to get out.
And it starts now.
Or mute us.
The opening of Batman and Superman, when all the stuff is going down, the big fight. Well, it's not the opening.
So, the opening sequence.
The
opening sequence is him
as Bruce.
It's his origin.
It's his origin.
Okay, so why didn't they cast? I know why they didn't, but why? If you're gonna do the origin again, you're gonna force me to sit through this. Why not? I'm not seeing the kid from Gotham. Just throw him in there.
Different use. DC multiverse.
Contracts,
Different
man.
universe, weird contracts.
A missed opportunity. If you want people to watch the show or segue something to the show, you could have put him in it.
But he's like older now too. He's not even
5
like.
minutes. It doesn't matter.
I don't think that. I just completely disagree.
Yeah, me too.
I don't.
Because then you're tying in Gotham, which is a completely different show.
I just think it was a missed
then you're
opportunity.
saying that Batman or that Bruce Wayne goes up to be this Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he grows up to be Ben Affleck.
No.
It
That's
doesn't work.
Then you have to align that.
So I felt the first 25 minutes of the movie unnecessary.
I disagree.
I
disagree.
Why do I need to see Batman's origin again?
The Batman origin?
One, not everyone.
It wasn't
watches.
25 minutes, but
whatever.
It
felt like 25
it was
minutes.
what? It was 5 minutes. It's an intro.
Yeah.
And it's
It was an unnecessary intro.
Honestly, I feel as though...
How else would they open it?
I feel
Just go straight from the fight scene with the
So
I
think that...
I agree with you. I feel like that they could have done... I still think the origin story was important because it was his take on it. Batman should have opened up to him like from that scene. So like because that's fresh in your mind. That's what it left off on.
Exactly.
And so you should go into that, then went into the Batman.
The dubstep killing machine.
Yeah. So exactly, yeah. And so you should have seen him, rushing to see that, and like rushing to go save.
You could have saved that parent scene for the scene where they showed it. I think it was when he said Martha, and they showed the gun going off really quick.
But that's also like their way of doing the credits, the beginning credits.
Yeah, I agree.
Instead of having like remember Spider-Man or X-Men where they're going through like a CG version of Cerebro or the webs.
Yeah.
This is just their way of doing it.
I feel like that was the most tasteful way they could possibly.
Did you ever watch Watchmen?
And that was directly from the comics.
He Watchmen the shit out of this movie.
Yeah. What?
Watchmen? You ever watch it?
Yeah.
He Watchmen the shit out of that intro.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He stylized it.
Yeah, but it was too much, dude. Like
I don't think it was too much. I just think it was.
If you don't know how Batman, if you don't know how Batman came to life or came to be, why are you here? They showed it in like.
So you don't want them to reach out to
every
people?
Well, how many Batman movies have we had now?
Are we talking about 66?
Well, how many Batman movies have we had? Like Michael Keaton, a lot. In each one of those movies, they show.
Not each one.
No,
I'm sure they go
first movie.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
In each first movie,
they always show the flashback of Bruce's.
They don't. They
Yeah,
didn't.
they
They didn't
do.
do that in Dark
I'm
Knight.
gonna look it up tomorrow.
They
I'm
didn't
gonna post it on a page.
They didn't
show
do
you
that in
guys.
Dark Knight.
All right, hold on.
When did Dark Knight Returns or Rises?
They always show something about Bruce's parents dying,
but not
at some
or
point
being
in the movie.
dead, not the actual story.
Martha, yes,
not the actual theme, not the actual whole shooting.
So I just felt like it didn't need to be the beginning of the movie. I think the movie should have came out.
Did you want it to be in the middle of it?
Well, when they did the part that referenced that, because I'm skipping way ahead now.
No, so I think
they did a quick clip of it again.
Right, because to remind you.
I think that part is either in the movie in the beginning or it's out. Yeah. Like there's no place for that anywhere else inside of it.
For me, as a theater goer, I feel like it should have been out. Like it shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have had to watch the beginning of that. They didn't do it for Wonder Woman.
That's because they have a movie based on it.
They didn't call her Wonder Woman.
Well, here's the great thing.
I know she has a whole new other movie coming out. They didn't call her Wonder Woman.
Whoa, let's go to the next.
Well, here's the good thing.
Let's go to.
Batman's origin now. And you don't have to put that in the movie.
I saw the movie.
In the other movie.
But not everybody did.
All right, so when did Batman Begins come out? 2005, 2006?
2005, yeah.
So this is 10, 11 years later. Kids aren't.
Well, kids.
I'm sure people own Batman Begins. They own the whole trilogy.
That's a little bit of a
stretch.
That's a stretch.
No, I feel like they own the Michael Keaton one because that's a classic.
Check it.
I don't own any of those.
I was not the normal comic geeky person.
This is our realm that we know, so we assume that everyone knows this. I
just want to point out that you said realm.
Yeah.
This is our nerd.
Make your point.
But Easter, gathering with family. Second cousin is like, we're talking about Deadpool, randomly comes up. And they're like, oh man, Deadpool, that was terrible. I brought the little kids to see it. I thought it was a Marvel movie. I'm like, there are people exactly like that.
They don't know it, yeah.
So, but it's rated R.
They saw Marvel, superhero, okay.
Your point isn't really... Well, they're not the Holy Trinity, which is Batman. Everyone knows. My grandmother knows who Wonder Woman is.
Good for her. But I was working at
I'm just
a
saying,
certain
like,
video game retail store where this elder gentleman is talking to someone on the phone. Is like, we can get him this game with a person with a red hat and a person with a green hat on it, and he's looking at a Mario and Luigi game. Mario and Luigi. You think everyone knows?
But that's not Batman.
No one
Superman,
knows that. They're bummers.
Or Wonder Woman.
But Mario has been around.
Not as long. Don't you dare say as long as those characters.
Pause it.
Mario has been around since the late 70s.
Not as long as Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
All right.
Just because they are literally the most recognizable figures in the world doesn't mean that everybody knows their origin
They've had
stories.
their own cartoon series.
Also, we've been on this part.
Alright, let's move on. There's a lot more to talk about.
I think that is one of the lesser sins of this movie.
Alright, so for me, I thought the beginning didn't have to be what it was.
I thought it still needed to be there. It just didn't need to be there at that point.
Okay.
I liked watching it from the beginning up until the Omega Dream sequence. I'm like, I have no idea why people are hating on this movie. It's okay. And then the dream sequence happened. I'm like, this is so out of place, and it ruins the flow of everything right now.
All right, are we talking about the whole movie up until when they had the Superman patches and everything?
Yeah, until the Doomsday sequence.
All right, so it's a dream. Everyone knows it's a dream.
Not Doomsday.
And then it turns into you realizing that, this could be an actual future that he's in. Like, why is Batman having this future? And then you see the Flash just kind of...
Was it the Flash?
It was
it was the Flash.
It was the Flash, yes.
It's Spanish Flash.
It's Spanish Flash.
Spanish Flash.
In an Iron Man suit.
It might have been Iron Man. Like, was that the Flash? Go ahead.
It's Flash in an Iron Man suit, alright? Let's move on.
Everything up to that point was really cool. And then, this whole quantum physics thing jumps into the middle of the movie and ruins the flow of how it's been, and then that's where you realize, this is him trying to throw everything together right now.
But that was their end of their credit scene.
What?
That was their end. That
could have been
their end of the credit scene.
The end of the movie. That could have been their post-credit scene.
The Flash thing.
The Flash thing.
I think that kind of didn't belong in this movie.
But
it didn't belong in the again.
But
it could
does.
Either it doesn't belong or it belongs.
It does, but it doesn't.
What was Flash saying? He said something about...
He said you were right about him.
You were right about
something.
Right Lois is the key.
Lois is the key.
And then he yelled something else.
He's
says,
like, how far
us.
back did I go? Or am I...
Yeah, he's like, how...
I think
first he says, I went too far back. He goes, I think he said at first, I went too far back.
He went too far back,
yeah. He goes, Bruce, you were right. He goes, Bruce, you were right. Lois is the key. You were right about him this whole time. Find us.
Yeah.
And so... That's specifically the reason why they put that in there, was to leave it off at the end.
So was he talking about?
Yeah, that definitely should have been at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he's talking about Superman.
He's talking about Superman. Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about Superman.
Because
but I think Superman. Well, I think Flash somehow got him that dream. Yeah.
Right, because the theory that I read is Flash is time traveling right now, so it's kind of like bending time on top of itself or whatever. So Batman is being affected by it since he's the main target of where Flash wants to go.
So those other dreams that he's having where he's kind of dreaming about Superman being a totalitarian government. I hope that the soldiers from Genos don't come.
Oh, God.
So, Genosian soldiers come down.
No, what are they called? Demon...
Oh, parademons?
Parademons? Those are the official.
Yeah, those are legit.
But yeah, Geonosians.
Yeah, I was like, is this fucking Star Wars now?
It's Injustice.
here's the thing. I know a lot of the future of it because I see the route that they're going.
Okay.
And when you see it and you're like, hey, this is...
Well, I'm blind to it. Make me see it. Come into my dreams and go, Nigel, you were right. This movie is crappy.
Spoilers for my
dream tonight. Go ahead, go.
So when he's saying that, the reason is he's saying find us. The reason he's saying find us is because it wouldn't have come organic. It wouldn't have come organically. He knew
from the files that he found.
I don't
that's
think
afterwards.
That's
right?
afterwards. I don't think the Justice League would have been found if he didn't give as soon as it needed to be.
If he didn't plant the seed.
If he didn't plant the seed.
I feel like the movie kind of buries that though because it
does movie. Though. That's what sucks.
it's like find us, and he's like, oh shit, I should find them, and then he never.
But at the end, he does tell.
Wonder Woman.
What do they call her on the plane? They don't call her Wonder Woman.
Princess.
Diana Prince.
Diana Prince. Or Miss
Prince.
He tells Miss Prince, I need your help finding them.
The Amazonian formerly known as Prince.
Miss Prince. And then she goes, what if they don't want to be found? And then he goes, I think they do.
He goes, I have an idea that they will.
Yeah.
Wait, don't find them. They don't want to be found.
But then she was like, but then she was like, why are we looking for him or whatever? He's like, I think something big is coming.
He's like, I got a feeling.
Okay.
See, but then that's like, if you take that Flash scene and put it as a post-credit scene, then you don't need that part. And obviously, like, it's fine if that part isn't even in it. Then you don't have...
but then it doesn't... sorry, go ahead.
Because no other part of the movie references it except for when they're talking and when she's looking through the file. Then you don't even need... like, I don't know. There's a way that Marvel does it that's so...
Thank you, Jay and Funk 15. I'm with me too.
That's his wife.
That's my wife, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, because I'm with me too.
But yeah, I feel like not only that, the burying the Flash's cameo in the middle of the movie.
It's not even a cameo. They like put it right in front of you.
Exactly. But then I feel like the other cameos are so ham-fisted that it was kind of clumsy. And it was just like, we have files on these guys, and there's the dude doing the experiment on Cyborg, and it's like, did you know?
I felt bad for Cyborg.
Did you know that? Hold on. He's doing the experiment, right? And he's like, I'm doing an illegal experiment. Here, let me record it, and then record my thoughts as I'm doing it, and have video and audio for my illegal experiment.
That's what they do.
Really quick,
Frankenstein.
Really quick, just on that subject. The guy who was doing the experiment is the guy who made the arm in Terminator 2.
Dyson?
Oh, yeah?
He found the arm.
He found the arm in the back.
So that's how he knows how to make Cyborg.
But I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then they had that shot of Aquaman where it's just like, he floats up.
That was a great shot, though.
Dude, it looks really cool.
It looked like a Pantene
really fucking stupid. This is just like
in the movie. It's just like
it was a Pantene commercial. It's like here on point,
and he stabs it. It's like come on.
It was so it's so slow. I'm like. Get on with it. All right, we saw him. If you're not going to focus on him,
look at all the tattoos. We spent time making that stuff.
The Flash was the best one because it's just surveillance footage of him saving somebody.
Is the Flash Asian?
No, he looked Asian, right?
He looked Asian.
And then he goes into the feature and becomes Spanish.
When they showed his eyes in the suit, he had like the little mustache like you. But then I looked at his eyes, but then he looked Asian to me. So I'm like, is the Flash Asian?
He's got the Fu Manchu going.
I have to see like
he's working on it.
Who's the actor? We know the actor. Who's the actor?
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
I have to look him up because I have to IMDb him.
I think it's Ezra
Miller.
Yeah.
What was he in something prior?
Nothing important.
He's a white guy.
Is he white?
Yeah, he's a white
guy. Why does he look Asian to me? Is it the suit? Did they cut the eyes?
I think that was the best of the cameos,
but still not great.
Because I feel like that whole file was ham-fisted.
I still liked the fact that they showed the mother box for Cyborg. I like that.
I feel like there are better ways they could have done that.
Marvel does it so much better.
Yes.
Within 30 seconds, I don't know.
Yes.
See, Marvel's way of letting you know that something will happen in the future is they'll just say it in passing.
Yeah.
And then, like, what was it? Captain America's Winter Soldier, right? Yeah. They're saying all the people that are threats. They're saying Anthony Stark, Stephen Strange, and then just keep naming people. Right. It's like, oh, Stephen Strange, cool.
And there was a scene like that. There was a scene like that in one of the X-Men movies where they go through a list of mutants. Yeah. And you see Remy LeBeau, so you see Gambit in there. You see like all these people that aren't in the movie, and that's them setting up for these people that are going to be in it. Like they didn't need to show Mother Box in there. They didn't need to show Cyborg. They didn't need to show Aquaman's face.
I think they could have made a reference. I think that's why DC did it.
But you have to remember. Yeah, go
ahead. They could have made a reference to those characters in passing.
But you have to remember that they're with Marvel, right? They're going in and they're saying Marvel's got this whole storyline behind them.
Yeah.
What's next in the Justice League? You got Suicide Squad. Well, in the DC, you got Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman.
Did you see the lineup? Like they printed the lineup for it.
Which is Wonder Woman, right? Which is starting as a prequel to all this crap. And then Justice League.
They need to show Jason Momoa.
Come on, Jess. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like they should definitely do movies for the Justice League as individual characters. So we get a chance to get to know these characters better, and we don't get a Batman v Superman for the Flash, where he shows up like Wonder Woman did and does nothing.
I don't think they're gonna do that with the Justice League. I think he's gonna find them all like kind of like Wizard of Oz style, like where he goes and he's finding one person, next person, and then they're gonna have their but it's also gonna do with the overall threat, which is Darkseid.
All right, so let's talk about like the battle.
Okay.
Wait, I do have some more thoughts on the rest of the movie.
Okay.
Because I don't like the movie, I disagree with the critics on it.
Correct.
Because I feel like they
tore it apart for no reason.
They tore it apart for no reason, yes. And they went through things that to me don't really impact the movie's quality as much as other things do. Yeah. Like I feel like one of my main concerns of it was that in the beginning, and you see it all over the place, it feels like it's edited by a kid who didn't take his ADHD medicine.
So much. That's the reason why.
It's so much, but it's edited. Like it could have been edited in a way that was coherent. They didn't do that.
I actually want to see the rated R version, which is the extended edition.
Yeah,
so that way
I'd like to see that
extra 30 minutes and see if that helps with the editing.
Because there's some parts. There's one part in particular that stands out in my mind right now, where Lex is talking to the senator and some other dude. I forgot who he was.
The dude in the wheelchair?
No, that's
no. I know.
The dude that looks like a politician.
Yeah,
he made a deal with
him about the parts
okay.
What's his name? Zod.
Yeah.
So you see that scene where he's talking to them, and it cuts away. It goes to Clark Kent talking to Lawrence Fishburne about Superman.
Yeah.
And it's like a 2-minute scene, and it goes back to Lex talking to the dude. And I was like, you could have just had that as one scene. Had the senator walk off, wherever the fuck she goes, because she's gone when they come back. And they could have just talked.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. And everybody says that, and I think everybody agrees with that. It was just poorly edited.
Yeah, very poorly edited.
Edited. That I can 100% agree with it. It was congested and poorly edited.
Yeah.
But
that's why, like I said earlier, I think that Man of Steel is a better movie than Batman vs Superman.
If you're going purely on
quality,
yeah. As far as a coherent structure to a movie and having the plot follow an arc, and hit that, I feel like Man of Steel is a better movie than Batman vs Superman is.
I didn't enjoy it
but
as much.
Man of Steel, in its defense, didn't have to deal with three different superheroes.
Right. And there are some problems with going into that, too.
So let's talk about each character, I guess. Are we okay that Batman kills in this universe?
Well, my complaint is that everyone was complaining about Superman doing it.
Yeah.
And when Batman does it, everyone's okay with it.
No, because people are complaining about it.
People are complaining about it still.
Oh, I heard no
he straight up murders people.
He was straight up murdering people. And then the fact that he put Martha in danger by shooting that guy's tank. Yeah. And like the guy's like, he's like, I know you will. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
he's Batman. He knows that he's fast enough to get that shit.
But there are two things that I have a problem with that. Is that they don't justify Batman's killing at any point in the movie. Like they don't ever say it's never like you have a choice or you don't have a choice. You have to kill these people in order to get through. There's never a part where they show a little bit of Batman's past and show that he has to become this ruthless killer.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's funny because there's so little time in this movie because of that. If the way that you catch those scenarios is like where Batman goes, after 20 years in Gotham, look at the guys who stayed good. He goes, look who are still here, and that was a scene. And then on top of it, where he's justifying it by being a vigilante because he's already a criminal. Like in the other scene where
I heard that
where he's branding people.
Yeah, why is he branding people?
Because at this point he knows it's a death sentence for people in
prison. Even if
he just started doing that too. It's not like he was doing that his whole career. I think that's where a lot of people are confused.
How does he?
Yeah. They tell you in the movie.
It hot?
They tell you in the movie
when he pulls it out at Lex.
Yeah,
it's like it's red hot.
But
it's a cigarette lighter.
Yeah, it's a cigarette lighter.
I'm like, what? It's like,
but yeah,
is it in the car? Like he just pushes it in the car. They have a brand.
They tell you in the movie though that that's only the second person he's branded.
Yeah.
Like the second time we see it in the movie, that's the actual second time that he's branded somebody.
Well, they were saying on the news report that when people go to prison,
considered a brand.
Yeah.
Well, they kill you. But the reason behind it, the reason why they kill them is because they know that they've talked. Like,
because Batman knows everything.
Because Batman, he always interrogates them, so they feel.
So why do I have you telling me this and not the movie?
Because it's not as intuitive.
Because they felt like they had to add the bathing scene with Doomsday.
Yeah.
With the bathing scene with Zod and Lex together.
Oh god,
that was so stupid. I'm sorry. That was terrible. Nothing.
And he's like movie, crying too. He's like, "You just too food."
But like nothing in that movie justifies Doomsday's presence.
No, I agree with that.
I feel like Doomsday should have been completely.
Well, you know what's really interesting, right? Think about this, and I thought about this like for a minute too, right? You have the whole Lois going across border trying to figure out this whole, what's it called? If you didn't do that scene, it still would have came to the same outcome.
Yeah.
So that's where all your time is. I don't understand that.
And another way
they do the Paris murder.
There are a bunch of ways they can
think about that. I think if you didn't do the Lois Desert scene,
that didn't need to exist.
It didn't need to exist.
The bombing in the court didn't need to exist.
The African scene that you talk about.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I think that the scene that you're talking about set up the thing for the girl being in court, saying that, Superman killed all these people.
So wait, then why aren't we just... So you're saying that in that time where that happened, it was never justified with the whole 12,000 people that he's responsible for?
Well, I think that,
because you could totally easily do that same thing.
They didn't have any of those 12,000 people there, or people, relatives or whatever, testifying. You had someone from this country where Superman went and did all this stuff, supposedly, in theory, and then killed all these people. And then the government came back and punished them because Superman was there and did all that stuff.
But see, I have two problems with that. The first problem, they don't need more justification for Batman to go after Superman. There have been for some reason, there's a 2-year time jump.
18 months, yeah.
Why? Why? Because...
To give Batman some...
No. Superman destroys, or is implicit in destroying Metropolis. He's part of the reason Metropolis is leveled.
Yeah, I agree.
And from Batman's point of view, which they show in the beginning of the movie, it's clear that he believes that Superman is responsible for it. Not only through his actions, but also indirectly by bringing Zod there.
Yeah.
So that he becomes a threat because of that.
Lois is...
And he doesn't act for 18 months?
Lois' scene set up why people don't support Superman because he's allowed
award,
which is also really silly. It doesn't need to exist. That scene does not need to exist in the movie.
Need to exist.
Also, they frame Superman by shooting people. Superman never shot anyone.
Yeah.
Why would you use a gun to frame Superman?
Yeah, he killed everybody by... Yeah.
He went on a shooting spree and killed everybody. He could fucking shoot lasers out of his freaking eyeballs.
They would be, as we saw, they would just be ashes.
Yeah, I didn't get sense.
And then they do that, right? And they had that courthouse bombing, which doesn't need to exist either.
No, the courthouse bombing is...
I thought they did that.
No, I really don't think
that was the cherry on top of everything.
That was the
slap in the face
to Batman. Yes. Yeah, that was the slap in the face to Batman.
That you could have taken this guy out and stopped all this stuff, but you're not doing it.
It's another reason why he went past.
I thought
while I was watching the movie, I was basically rewriting it in my head into a good movie, right?
I think everyone was doing that though.
Basically, I would start off with the court scene with Superman being put on trial for the destruction of Metropolis because they see the amount of power that he has, and they have to put that in check. And no one does that. No one sees Metropolis and thinks, shit, he helped level the whole place. I feel like they completely gloss over that. But they reference it, but they gloss over it at the same time.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more focus on that.
Me too.
Yeah, I only think...
And they create these new reasons for Batman to hate Superman that don't need to exist.
The only reason I think that they kind of glossed over was they were like, I think... Superman kind of like just bent over with it and was like, yeah, I'll give you Zod's body. Yeah, I'll give you everything Kryptonian. Yeah, I'll do this. And they're like, all right, we'll look the other way about Metropolis.
Yeah, but I feel like...
Because Superman could have easily took all the shit back.
Right. But I feel like story-wise, it's weak. And it weakens the story because
that's a theory. That's not,
I feel like it weakens the story because they have to continue to create these new reasons.
But it makes Eisenberg, Luthor as a villain... better villain.
He was awful.
You didn't like him?
I did not like him at all.
I liked him.
I did not like him at
all. He's not Lex Luthor, but he's
the
a good
Joker.
Villain.
He was the Joker.
He's the Riddler.
No, you're right. He was the Joker.
He's literally the Riddler.
It's like he took Heath Ledger's book on the Joker and
grew his hair like him and like...
No, and that was another thing that bothered the crap out of me.
It's supposed to be a reference to an old Lex Luthor.
What prison makes you shave your hair?
I don't know.
What?
It was just to push him over the edge and go, he's Lex.
Yeah, like, I understand he's Lex.
That was really silly.
But I was like, I'm thinking this whole time, I was like, what prison makes you shave?
I love how they said that to the end of the movie, and it's like, hey guys, guess what? He's bald now.
Yeah, but they put that in Entertainment Weekly like months ago.
Yeah.
Also, I don't get how Batman disappears in the prison.
He's Batman.
They don't even talk about that prison scene.
It's a flash of light.
The unnecessary prison scene, but
it was kind
of. There's a lot of unnecessary.
I don't think so.
Oz Arkham Edition.
My problem with the movie was when I was watching the court scene, I was thinking about Iron Man and how Robert Downey Jr. did it so much better in his court scene. How it was funny, it was lighthearted.
But that's not how this movie.
I understand that, but like watching. I'm always comparing, like, as soon as I saw the court scene...
That's the problem. You went in comparing it to other Marvel movies.
I understand it, but that's where I'm programmed. I can't change that.
See, I didn't compare it to other movies.
Did you even think about Iron Man when you saw that court scene?
No.
See, that's what... I immediately went to...
I didn't even spend
Justin Hammer trying to change the channel, and Robert Downey Jr. going, look at this guy. He's trying to copy my thing.
Yeah.
He takes over with his iPad or whatever, his telephone, whatever he had in front of him. And then he took over the whole scene.
And he's like, oh, that's Iron, yeah.
But, yeah, then they brought his friend in and he's like, oh, Brody, what are you doing here?
Yeah, like I said, that I didn't compare it to anything.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
See, well, I immediately went to that scene in Iron Man when I saw that.
But like I was saying earlier, though, when I was rewriting the movie in my head, when I was watching this, I start with the court scene where he's on trial, destroying Metropolis, and Batman is watching this and sees that Superman will not get justice.
So literally the trailer.
What?
The trailer. It starts off with the court scene, and you see Batman getting mad.
Well, let's see.
It makes sense because he's not getting justice. He's a superhero. who's all powerful,
not being held accountable,
and he can't be held accountable for his actions. So Batman's like, well, if justice isn't going to, if the law's not going to do it, I'm going to take justice into my own hands and go after this guy. So in my version of the movie, Batman goes after Superman, fights him, loses, right? Then he stocks up on things. Lex Luthor reaches out to Bruce Wayne because he knows he's Batman. Reaches out to Bruce.
Somehow everyone knows who each other is.
Well,
I understand how Superman...
I don't put
Well,
past...
Batman had to find out that Lex Luthor was the white Portuguese.
White
Russian.
White
Portuguese, yeah.
I get that, but...
I understand Lex Luthor being able to figure out who people's identities are. Well, maybe not Superman, but Batman...
Sure.
He could definitely figure out... Because he's got the resources.
Yeah.
And you can see he's tied into the criminal underground. So that's not too far-fetched. Superman doesn't make as much sense.
But he's Lex Luthor, man.
Except for the fact that he just takes off his glasses and goes off. So
I know, but that's the part of...
Facial recognition from software? That doesn't make sense.
It's in that deleted scene, remember?
What?
The deleted scene with, what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel?
Oh,
yeah. He takes off his glasses like, look, it's Superman.
He's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's like, oh my god, it really is.
But
yeah, the motivations for the fight were terrible.
Yeah.
Well, the motivations weren't really like fight.
Did you know that beforehand that the two moms have the same name?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it.
I didn't realize that either.
I knew it, but I didn't put it.
But that's also a weak...
I was going to say, well, we said
that's a weak snapping thing.
Is that the string that you're using to tie your whole movie together? It snapped. Like, as soon as he's like, why are you saying that name? I'm like, this is horrible.
Like, that's his mother's name. It's like, all right, we can be cool now.
That's my mom too, bro.
Well,
same mom.
What I'm reading from that is that Batman sees that he cares about his mother so much.
I think
and that it's a sign of his humanity.
You're right.
But it doesn't have to. They don't have to have the same name.
I know. He could just be like...
Superman could have just been like, while he's getting pounded in the face by Batman,
but
also, he has my mother.
At that point, I think he didn't know that he was raised by a human. And I think that's where he's losing that.
That's...
Also...
That string is still too weak for me.
I do feel like... Who calls their mother by their first name while they're getting pummeled by a...
No. He's trying to tell him that you have to save my mom. Like no matter if you
would have saved my mom,
but he's like
my mother is in danger.
10 minutes
Lex
to
has,
if you're
Lex has my mother. My mother's in danger.
I think at this point he doesn't care about himself.
Let's just
he's
go
like,
back
just go save
to one
Martha.
It was a movie called Batman vs Superman. We had to see them fight at some time.
Yeah,
right. Which I really liked that fight between the two. That fight
was really cool. Yeah,
that fight was damn.
It was awesome.
I gotta say, that's where most of my points for the movie.
It was really injustice to me when he pushed him through the building and threw him down.
Well, that whole first scene where Superman's walking and then the Sonic arrow and everything like that, literally from the Dark Knight Returns.
They drew heavily from it.
Yeah, that scene
from Green Arrow is actually the one who shoots he shoots an arrow, the oxidized version of kryptonite,
and then it hits him, and and then it blows up. But it was the same. It was literally.
So wait, why did he fire that first smoke thing at him?
To confuse him.
All right, so he would think that was.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, so he shot nothing. So I'll catch this one, and then that'll be the kryptonite.
Yeah. Okay. You saw basically Superman thought he was just gonna grab it and be like, oh, that's done with. But
it's gonna blow up.
It explodes kryptonite all over his face.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. Like,
I thought it was cool too.
That's
stereotypical.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's stereotypical Batman. He always there's been so many different things where he throws a batarang, and then all of a sudden they catch it and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And it blows up in their face. So that was like a stereotypical Batman thing, which I love.
Yeah, I kind of wish that fight happened earlier and lasted longer.
At least lasted longer.
Yeah, at least lasted longer. Like, I feel like if it ended in the same spot but started way earlier in the movie.
You know what there was little things I hated too. There was like he has this kryptonite spear, right?
Yeah.
And I understand what he's doing. He's trying to weaken him so that way he doesn't come after him, right? But he just made this thing, right? And he just sticks it in the ground like it's a knife going into butter. And I'm like, you just stuck a crystal that could break into cement.
Like,
how is that possible?
Do we know how hard kryptonite is now? Is kryptonite like diamonds?
Yeah, exactly. That was one of my questions.
Is that how it kills Superman's people? Is it just tough that it stabs right through them? As you can see, it does stab right through Doomsday.
But that was after he hit them with the kryptonite gas.
Well, he had to take the electronic pulsing.
Well,
I do love that entire fight against Doomsday, that Batman's sitting in the corner.
He's like, I got nothing on this one.
So I have a problem with that fight scene too, because Batman's like, I have to take this guy to Gotham because that's where the spear's at. So you're taking this creature that was on a desolate island,
and you're gonna bring him to this.
Again, people are complaining about the Superman fight and how they were just blowing through buildings, which I knew set up this movie. But what good is taking Doomsday from this island?
Superman
pushed him into like this giant like.
I did have that.
Can we start with the beginning of that fight with Doomsday?
Okay.
Where there's like, oh, it's a good thing it's after work because no one's around.
Yeah, it's after hours.
They said it was
oh my god,
poorly desolate.
I missed that.
It's where Doomsday's like
jumping
on top of the building for Lex.
I think I was too busy laughing at Doomsday to hear that line.
Yo, you know what?
I was actually laughing out loud.
Doomsday was how he had his Super Saiyan power-ups.
It made him look better. I'll say that.
Well, for the second form when he
ripped his skin
off, I was hoping to get the bone beard.
Yeah.
I was hoping to give him like a little bit of hair. Like he didn't have to look like a Ninja Turtle the whole fight. You know, like build him up, like make him Doomsday-ish.
He looked kind of like Goro in the beginning.
Get the knee thing, get some armor. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But they didn't need to put that whole electronic thing that he had going on.
I didn't understand.
I didn't understand that either. That was not something that was in the
What
comics.
electronic thing?
He had the
bubble thing.
Bubble,
the electric bubble.
Like remember when Superman was in space? When Superman was in space, you could see it from space.
His big bang attack. His
Gallic gun.
That was another thing. Don't get me wrong. Like I did enjoy the movie. That had a lot of gripes with it. So that was one of them. Like how he kept. I was like, where did this come from? Like not even Superman is doing that.
When he shot his I-beam, it looked like it came out his mouth.
Yeah, it looked like
too.
I think that
his whole face.
It was like his whole face, like just shot his teeth.
Like that robot in Thor. Like the robot in the first Thor movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, that opened up. It
opened up its whole face and shot beams at
him. But because Doomsday's yelling while he's shooting, it looks like it comes out his mouth. And
I think it does because his beam is so fucking massive.
No, it only came out his eyes.
It only came out his eyes.
Okay. When he shot at Batman and Batman did the
it was just like Marvel vs. Capcom.
The double grapple. But because it had the afterglow in the way the movie's filmed, like artsy or whatever. It looks like it consumes his whole face.
I love that the whole Wonder Woman's involvement in the fight was basically
save Batman.
1, keep on hitting his legs, and 2, keep getting knocked back in slow motion and make a face, then go back into the action.
I don't care what anybody says about that. That was so sexy every time she got
it. That was the best part.
Gal Gadot was.
So you didn't like Wonder Woman?
Dress too? Oh.
No. I like the girl who played Wonder Woman. I like the costume. I think she looked like Wonder Woman. My only complaint was again
they never announced her.
They didn't. You said she had a theme, but they didn't. I didn't hear a theme for her.
Okay.
I disagree with that, but
they saturated with that piano thing, which I know is Superman because Superman had a movie and that was in.
You're listening to it.
All right, let's move on. That's besides the point.
That's
whatever.
So beside the point.
When she was on the plane, so again, in comic books and current Wonder Woman, she could fly.
She could fly.
So I'm thinking this Wonder Woman could fly. She has all Wonder Woman's power. When she's on that commercial airline going back to not Themyscira because they don't say she's from that.
Well, I mean, is there a commercial airline that goes with Themyscira?
It could be
Turkish
a stop.
Airlines secretly Themyscira Airlines.
Well, this is her being Diana, though. It's not her being Wonder Woman.
I understand that, but just give us not everyone knows Wonder Woman. Like you were saying.
Why would she just be always flying?
Exactly. No one knows that she flies.
Well,
Clark Kent would fly
from all the comics and current cartoons, right? Current WB movies, WB whatever. She flies now. Yeah. They were like, it doesn't make sense for her to have the invisible plane. So when they announced that Wonder Woman's in this movie, so I'm like, cool. Is she gonna fly? Are they gonna go back to the plane? Are they gonna give her some kind of cool plane? She's gonna show up and shoot Doomsday, and her and Batman gonna do some aerial show. You never know what they're gonna do in the movie. So when I saw her on this commercial plane, I go, great. She doesn't fly, or she doesn't have the plane because she's on a plane taking a plane.
I feel like that's not indicative of her powers. That's more.
So when she was fighting Doomsday, she never flew. She just jumped
really far.
A frog. Yeah.
There's no real reason for her to fly.
I think that's fine though. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
no. I think if she's as strong as Superman, she should be able to fly. Well, they put them in the same bracket.
She's not as strong as Superman, though.
She's not as strong as Superman.
Would beat the shit out of her. I don't know. If they ever fought straight up, she'd beat the shit out of her.
The gauntlet thing I thought was really cool that she hits him and it does the heat up.
I like that they kind of...
She absorbed that.
Yeah, she absorbs it.
She absorbs it.
When she releases it back.
When Doomsday did the super glowy thing, I saw that she had the shield up, protecting herself, and Superman just had, he had the arm up. I'm thinking, why are you even holding the shield up if it's still hitting your legs and stuff?
You always want to protect your face.
Well, her shield isn't her shield special or something like that? I don't read the comic, but
her lasso is special.
I mean, the shield is.
And when she used the lasso on Doomsday, why didn't you just tell the truth about all the stuff that he'd done? And now I'm just joking.
Okay.
Have they? Are they still doing that? The lasso of truth? Is it still a lasso of truth?
You don't know because she didn't use it on anyone.
So I know it's
she used it on Doomsday.
No, but Doomsday was
glowing. She should have used it on Batman. On Bruce Wayne.
That would have been the perfect opportunity. At that party to have it close to him or just have it, I don't know, as a belt or something, have him touch it and he'd say something truthful about himself. It'd be
you have to be wrapped. You have to be bound.
So Ty's
I don't think that would have been. I think that would have been too corny.
Really?
In the movie. Yeah.
Where are you gonna hide a lasso on that dress?
That dress.
All her dresses were
I do like the fact that they kind of.
How did she get that thumb drive back in his car?
Yeah,
this guy.
He's
talking about the dumbest shit.
Is that dumb? How did she get it on his car?
How did Bruce Wayne get her email address?
What do you mean how you get her email address?
How do you get her email address?
He's Batman.
But still, you're going the same route.
She's Wonder Woman.
So she threw the thumb drive?
The world's greatest detective. But what I do...
I will ride down the street of plot holes, but there's some plot holes I hit.
There's
almost destroy the car.
Come on, Nigel. Seriously? These are really stupid plot holes you're pointing
out.
They're really stupid and inconsequential to the plot.
This is the way I think, bro. So.
But,
what you dealing with?
I do like the kind of hint at the fact that Wonder Woman and Batman kind of had that little spark they had in the cartoon.
That was funny too. He's when he sees her, he's like, "Sorry, bro." He's kind of brushing off Clark, and he's like, "Sorry, pretty ladies catch and get me all the time. Don't quote me on that."
Yeah, that was a good line. I knew going into this, I was telling everybody I'm gonna love Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. And I did. I liked him as Bruce Wayne. I think he was good.
You like him as Batman?
Batman, he didn't do enough to really see.
It's the same character.
It's the same character.
Yeah.
And that Batman
and Bruce Wayne.
What you're talking about is really stupid.
When he...
Oh, come on.
He's the same person.
How did she get that flash drive in the car?
How did she get the flash drive in the car?
Who gives a shit? I do. She had a fucking purse, didn't she? Put it in a fucking purse and walk out.
I'm sure she got someone to do it for her.
Thank you for the
She's got boobs. She can put in her cleavage and walk out.
She put it out her purse and the purse walked out. And
she probably
This is horrible. Let's move on.
This is so inconsequential to the plot. But yeah, Batman and Bruce Wayne are two different characters.
I think Ben Affleck did an amazing job.
But I think he was good.
I love your argument.
I love the Batman.
I didn't make an argument there.
Well, you said he's not good.
No, I didn't say he wasn't good. You interrupted me while I was talking about it.
Argument.
I didn't say he wasn't good.
So what do you say?
I liked him as Bruce Wayne. I need to see more of him as Batman. Because so far what I see is that he's kind of the Punisher.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not enough acting chops for behind the scenes in
Well,
Batman.
His scenes as Batman were him beating the shit out of people and shooting people.
Supposed to do.
Right, but
I'm saying I need to see more before I say he's acting
how
well
do you
as
want
Batman.
him to act as Batman?
So
that's what I don't get. Like, what do you want him to do to act as Batman?
So look at the other Batman movies, right? Batman.
But those were just Batman movies. This is Batman Superman.
That's what I'm saying. Is that I need to see more. I need to see him in a Batman movie.
So when you talk, just say I need to see him in his own Batman movie.
That's what I'm saying. I need to see more of Batman
in his own movie.
So all we can agree, we want to see more of Batman.
Yes. I want to see more of him in the movie.
You can't judge his chops as Batman
because what I've seen from him in this movie was him driving a Batmobile and shooting people. Him shooting people. Him shooting people in the fight scenes. Him shooting the dude, saving Martha, which I don't think that was awesome.
I thought it was awesome.
What I think that was murderous.
I think,
and endangering Martha for no reason. Because he could have shot the dude in the face and he would have been dead without endangering Martha in that explosion.
I see what you're saying. But I don't...
I
think he was afraid that she would...
No, he wasn't afraid of anything.
So Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne is really cool. He's really good. Batman, the character, is really good. But when Ben Affleck is Batman, anyone could be Batman. It didn't have to be
right because he's got the voice changer on. It doesn't matter who's behind
that at that point.
Yeah.
So there's no acting chops behind.
I'm just glad it was a voice changer this time and not him doing that crazy, that raspy.
And that was it's funny because you see a lot of the sins from the past, and by past I mean past movies, where they make up for that. They're like, oh, the one thing that everybody had a problem with was Bale doing the voice at the
really
first thing that they do is
he's got so many gadgets. You can't make a fucking voice changer.
The first thing that they do before he even says a word as Batman is put the voice changer, show where the voice changer is.
Yeah.
And then they showed you the armor on the helmet too, so that way people couldn't argue about that.
Yeah.
Especially when the guy shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah. That's one thing I didn't like about Batman in this movie was that he was more brute force and less tactical ninja.
Yeah. When he punched that guy and his head just hit the floor, I think he punched the back of his head. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was cool and all, but
I think
him getting shot in the back of the head and him being I feel like Batman should be the kind of person who goes in there, sees everything in there, and formulates a plan while he's fighting.
Well, that's what you've been accustomed to for the past 20 years.
Here's
the Dark Knight Returns Batman is exactly how this.
Okay, so I have the comic in my room and I haven't read it.
Because the Dark Knight Returns one, he doesn't kill, but he breaks arms, he paralyzes people, he breaks legs. So he's
very brutal.
He's brutal. Is he still
and he's the size
Batman?
Of what?
Is he still Detective Batman though? Is he still very thoughtful about how he goes about things? But then brutal at the same time. He can do
the one we're talking about, the Frank Miller Batman,
and
where he fights a dude with a tank and the crazy Batman.
He has a tank in this.
Yeah,
he shoots.
And Robin's a girl.
So,
I think.
But there is even a scene where he fights this guy and he's a mutant, right? And they call him the leader of the mutants, whatever. And he fights him.
No, I'm just fucking.
He
fights him in front of all his people. He fights him,
and then Batman gets beat because he tried to match that guy's brutality.
Yeah.
And he was just stronger than he was, because Batman's obviously not in his prime at this point. Okay. So
because in Dark Knight Returns, instead of him being 40, which is what he is in the movie, he's 50, 60.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's counterintuitive to what Batman should do as he gets older. I feel like he should be getting more cunning and more crafty.
I think
as he gets older.
There you go.
He's tired.
That's why he probably kills people at this point. He's seen so much shit. We obviously know that Robin something has happened to Robin.
I agree with that.
He's made the clown reference.
Yeah.
So he's like, I've seen people dressed in clown suits before. Like, what makes you different? Well, he's talking about Superman.
Yeah.
So that's why he's on, like, he just kills.
See, I wonder if they're going to keep that going, too. Like, if Ben Affleck, Batman is going to murder people from now on.
I don't know if he's going to murder. I think he's going to slow it down. I don't think he's
because of Superman?
Yeah, because if that last scene where he goes, I failed him in life, I won't fail him in death.
Okay.
I think he kind of, like, inspires him in that point. And that's, which kind of, like, disappoints me, but, like, at the same time, Superman had to kill Zod to learn that he, all life is precious, whatever you want to say. So, I mean, that's where it is. But, like, he's so, going back to why he's doing that, he just doesn't care anymore. He's been so jaded by everything that's happened with Gotham, people that have turned on him, that, were there. And that's why he even says, he goes, how many people good guys are left in Gotham? How many people stayed that way?
Yeah. You see, I feel like I wish that there was more of that than the court scene exploding.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Let's talk about that because
and the dream sequence. Like I feel like the dream sequence, the court scene exploding, the Africa sequence with the typical African dictator dude.
but then again,
best question ever.
All of those
are you a terrorist?
Out. Every one of those scenes could have been cut out. You use the motivation from Metropolis exploding from the last one, right? And you spend this movie developing those characters instead of developing their conflict.
I feel like it would be more of a Batman movie then.
Well, here's the thing.
It would have been...
Yeah, it would have been a Batman movie. But the problem with this...
See, what I'm saying is you develop the characters. Like, you develop Batman from this perspective, and you develop Superman because he sees that people are seeing him as a destructive person now.
Yeah.
And you show like maybe the public gets on Batman's side at this point, or there's some people conflicting views.
They kind of
have that already, right?
Yeah.
And you have these conflicting views in the public, and you show a little bit more of that. And you see Superman.
But you're still talking about a Batman movie.
No, Superman. Because Superman has this moment of reflection then, where his part of the movie is him reflecting on how he can do better for humanity and growing into a symbol of hope, a symbol of peace, where he's doing all these things, where he's not being destructive. And so when he fights the next dude who's godlike, he's going to bring him somewhere where he doesn't destroy millions of people's lives at the same time. So you show him develop into this character, and you show Batman chase after him, and then the reason that they stop fighting each other is that Batman sees the character of Superman. That he sees that he's not this destructive personality, this person who's going around murdering a bunch of people. That he's changing his ways, being more careful about how he goes about everything.
Probably would have been better. But the problem, another problem with Batman v Superman is that it's based off Dark Knight Returns, which is a Batman.
Yes.
Yes. It's a Batman comic.
It's a Batman comic that they've brought to movies, but they're basing it around Superman.
Yeah. And I feel like this movie was a Batman movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so a Batman movie.
It was definitely a Batman movie.
All right.
It was a Batman and Lex Luthor movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, freaking Metropolis right across the river from Gotham.
Well, they said they're treating it like San Francisco and Oakland. I think.
Sure. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sister cities.
Is that how... Does DC have a map for their cities?
DC does not make any sense ever.
There's no map.
Kansas is right next to Metropolis.
Yeah, I'm like, Kansas. So you make up all these fake cities and you put them in real states and don't make them geographically accurate. And it's like, what's going on?
This is them making a map. So we're gonna say this is here, but then the United States map is gonna be normal.
They could have put Clark Kent in upstate New York or something.
There's been plenty of instances where states have argued that Smallville is where they are.
Yeah.
And then they'll build like all these monuments to Superman and have Superman stores.
That's so
there's a bunch.
No,
and there's a town.
There's a town,
called Metropolis. and they go nuts.
And they have all the they have a statue of Superman.
They have a statue of Superman. They actually have a.
Is it like the one in the movie?
It's the one with Lieutenant Dan.
Not that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like they have like a thing for Metropolis.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Lieutenant Dan and Professor X.
I'm pretty sure that's not where it is. They also, not to take away from our conversation, but they have the Marvel tour. My friend told me about in New York, where you take the buses and they
really?
take
See, that makes more sense.
Like Peter Parker's.
It's an established that they're in New York.
They take you where the Fantastic Four building is. They take you to Peter Parker's house.
I didn't know about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We have to do it one day. There's a lot of stuff that.
All right, so since we're talking about DC Marvel stuff, the problem, like, it's not looking good for DC Universe.
I disagree.
Because of how they do the movies. Like, whatever happens in this movie, you're going to have questions. We're like,
what?
Oh, it'll be explained a year or two from now. Whereas a Marvel movie can be a standalone, and then something at the end credits is what keeps you going forward.
My problem with DC movies is they don't do that. They don't put anything at the end of their movies that I've seen.
Because they put it in the middle of the movie.
I just think that like they're trying because even
I think it's the director. I don't think it's DC.
They're rushing.
I think they're rushing.
They're rushing.
They're trying to catch up.
They should 100% slow it down.
What records did Batman Superman beat?
Opening in March, they're
really obscure ones.
Yeah,
like
top 5. While Daredevil is the top, not Daredevil, Deadpool is the top rated R movie of all time.
Yeah,
which is insane.
This one was like top Easter something, whatever.
Yeah, which I don't know. Is that a?
So it's not breaking any worldwide record.
It's doing well.
It's not beating Jurassic World.
No, nothing. I
don't think so.
That's crazy.
Definitely not beating Star Wars.
Oh hell no! I don't think it's gonna beat Deadpool.
No.
I don't know. I think the expectations were set so high for this movie.
Well, my expectations were really low, which is why.
That's why you're not disappointed about it.
Yeah, my expectations were really low. I'm still disappointed by
it.
That's rough.
Well, my thing is,
I give it a rough review.
But I never have any expectation going into anything because I've seen everything from, like, Avengers, which is one of the best comic book movies, and then all of a sudden you go in and they're hyping. You get such hype for Daredevil.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
You also get Age of Ultron, which is
even
nowhere
better,
near as good as
everybody's favorite Spider-Man 3.
Oh my god. That's all. Every time I think of Spider-Man 3,
I also feel I didn't have that walkout thing where you're walking out the theater and still talking about the movie afterward. Like, I feel like if they hadn't shown us Doomsday on the Super Bowl commercial, and we went to the movie, and then he's like, "Oh, here's your Doomsday," and they just showed up, and be like, "Oh wow, they incorporated Doomsday into this movie."
Honestly,
somehow.
though, I feel like if they cut out Doomsday completely, this movie would be so much better for it. I feel like just cutting him out completely.
I still think
allowing Lex to be a villain in his own right.
But those movies are so boring.
Instead of bringing in Doomsday. No,
unless Lex used
Superman.
Unless Lex used the Kryptonian technology.
You think so?
They absolutely
they should have had Lex use the Kryptonian technology to make his suit. And then he could have fought him with the kryptonite suit.
But then imagine Jesse Eisenberg inside a suit.
He'd be CG, so I wouldn't mind it.
You know what? They probably steered away from that too because of Iron Man and the Hulkbuster suit.
True,
but Superman,
I think that fight would have been epic.
Superman had to die this episode, this season. I mean, this movie.
I still feel like if they went what I thought someone wrote something.
I feel like ending my life because of the bad news I got today. I need someone to talk about it. Oh,
what?
Tell us all about it, man. Tell us all about it.
So, they're making a sequel to Batman Superman? Is that what you heard? No, but I feel...
Tell us all about it, and then you block it.
On that note.
I silenced him.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but I feel what I thought the synopsis of the movie was I've said this off camera many times. I don't know if I said it to you guys, but I thought Jesse Eisenberg would clone Superman and then have like a Bizarro type Superman. That's how come Superman would be going around doing all these crazy things with Batman, and then at some point that Superman would get sick and become the Doomsday.
That's also a really dumb plot, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Didn't they do that already? Like, to try to like do something like that?
I feel like that'd be a really dumb plot.
There was the same plot in Doomsday, the animated movie.
Was he Superman?
It was a clone of Superman that Klex put a piece of kryptonite that could explode in his head.
And he turned to Doomsday?
He didn't turn to Doomsday, but he went evil. But Doomsday was the.
Well, I'd rather them have something.
These are comic book stories, so like a lot of times they go really stupid because they've been going for so fucking long.
Yeah. There's only so much you could do.
Watch Superman Doomsday.
Definitely.
I thought you like when you were saying that, I was like, did he watch Superman Doomsday?
But that's what I thought the movie plot was. Like when you see the trailer and.
Oh, you mean that that video that dude did? He was talking to the. Oh no, that's something different.
Death of Superman.
Death of Superman. Or he talks about the death of Superman, and it's really stupid.
I also feel for.
Well, he makes it really stupid. Yeah.
Well, for the death of Superman, they weren't any like. You remember they had all the superheroes carrying the casket. Yeah. And it was a big deal in the comic books, and
that was
they even made the freaking coffin black with the silver S, just like the cover of the Death of Superman.
Calico?
You know that there was
what up, Trey?
What else did they do? That I was gonna say. Again, I guess because Superman just got to Earth, so he didn't know all the other superheroes. But I thought it was like more.
Spoilers.
Impactful.
We're talking Batman versus Superman.
I thought it was more impactful when they had the poster of like Batman carrying the coffin, Wonder Woman on this side.
But you don't have the Justice League yet.
You don't have the Justice League.
I know. But
yeah,
like,
so
you can't do it.
Nah.
Which is why.
But
go ahead.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Wait,
don't.
Well, we're just about.
Yeah,
we're just
about
done. Yeah.
We're wrapping this
Which
up.
I mean, I guess you're gonna be leaving anyway. So.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. What else we got going on next week?
Well,
is there anything happening this week?
I'm going to the car show, which is in New York tomorrow.
You gonna see Funkmaster Flex?
Is he there? He's probably always there.
He's been there since last week.
Restarting songs in the middle of them. So I'm doing the car show. Anything? There's a couple of Comic-Con things that I've been looking up. The Atlantic City Boardwalk.
Oh, there's a Philadelphia con.
The Wizard World is also.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to go to that was because.
Where's Wizard World in?
Philly.
It's in Philly?
Yeah, it's right.
There's a bunch. I was thinking about going.
What to the
Philly?
When is it?
Wizard World or
the Wizard World one? Or no, I think it was like a Philly con and Amy Jo.
Are they two separate things?
I don't know, but Amy Jo Johnson's there, and I need to get something signed by her.
Amy Jo.
Who is she?
The Pink Ranger.
The Pink Ranger. Yeah.
Oh shit! Let's go to that shit. Down.
So,
gotta see Kimberly.
And you know who else is going to be there? Jason. St. Austin John.
Oh, it's just that Wizard
World.
He
was at
C2E2. True.
Yeah. Wizard World travels, so it's not just one place.
But they're both going to be there, and I have two things I need to get signed.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say...
Hunter just going to jab me.
They were saying... I was just saying that the Red Ranger was at the thing we were at.
Yeah, he was there. We just didn't see him.
Yo, I got stuff that needs to be signed. Because...
you do have an
Yellow
extensive...
Ranger.
Not to blow your cover.
The
you have an
Yellow
extensive
Ranger.
Power Ranger.
You're a Power Ranger fan.
You know what they just released?
Nope.
The White Falcon.
Oh, did they? I probably
the Legendary?
Yeah, I have the original one.
I hate you. Oh my god.
Did they just release that?
Yeah.
I gotta go
it's
to
metal. It's $50. Not bad. And it's
you know how much the Megazord? You know how much it dropped on the Legacy Thunderzord? $200.
Thunderzord.
Yeah, the Thunderzord, bro.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I had one of those.
Yeah, right. Great.
I think it's somewhere in Chicago, but I had it.
Yeah, but on a scale of 1 to 10, for me with Batman and Superman, definitely a 5.
I'm somewhere around there.
Too high.
Well, did you hate it? You didn't like it?
Again,
I would give it a 6.
If it was a popcorn,
more favorable.
If you're in the popcorn flicks and you're not going to dissect the movie like we do, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
But like if you're going in with like our goggles on and you're gonna sit there and be like, was that Flash or why is this happening or
spoilers at this point for sure.
I just want to give it I personally am giving it a 7 just because of the Batman references. That's personal.
It had a lot of
good
comic book references.
They had a lot of Batman comic book references direct and
I gotta go back and watch because that's what I do now because I don't read comics. I go back and watch people that pointed all the Easter eggs out.
And there's so many Easter eggs towards Batman, and that's why I still say, and I completely 100% agree with it was a Batman movie.
Yeah.
If you catch them all, you're like, oh, this was awesome. And, like even the fight scene where he's saving, you know who, because I'm just gonna save it to the end of it. Those were Arkham Knight moves. Like when you see him pull shooting the grapple and then pulling him. That's an Arkham Knight move. It's literally they pulled.
I didn't even think about
that. Yeah, dude, that whole scene is Arkham Knight.
I fucking love those.
Where's the combo?
Yeah, exactly. Sit back, watch when you go see that movie again.
So that fight scene was awesome, but I feel like the other one, the dream sequence one, was really weird and slow.
Yeah. At one point
he was like shooting at people, and one dude's like standing there, like
and how he snapped the guy's neck.
I don't know why they left this in the movie, or if they intentionally left it in the movie. But during the fight, he's fighting the people, and there's a girl on the ground. She legitimately reaches her arm back, and he doesn't grab her arm. He's still fighting, and then he grabs her arm and drags her.
Yeah, I saw
reaches the choreography,
but
right?
she reaches way too early, and she's just laying there like this.
Well, that was also...
I saw it 3 times, so each time I see this arm like this, and he grabs the arm, he drags her a little bit, and then that's when they grab his arm and they punch him in the back of the head. But she does this way too early.
Yeah. And then the reason you were saying how you saw people do that, and you saw no gunshots, right?
Yeah.
Because they're doing it because they think it's part of the choreography, but the person who's doing the post-production is like, oh, they're wrong. I'm not going to put the muzzle flash on their guns. So they're probably supposed to be firing.
That one fight scene had so many, I don't want to say mistakes. Or
it had mistakes.
Yeah, like when he did the arm thing with the gun. Yeah, when he did there's one part where the person tried to shoot and he takes the clips and he flips the gun around and I think he breaks their arm. I think the way he did it from the camera angle, it looks so weird.
Yeah, I think that they probably ran out of time with that shot.
Well, you know what?
I definitely know that arm thing is way too early.
That was where they built the whole set. They made a whole city out of that. I think they spent more time building the city. Yeah, if you look it up in the beginning, they were in the middle of Nevada, they're making a set for Superman, and it's the size of a town. Yeah,
they probably ran out of time.
Yeah,
and that was probably the first take that was halfway decent, and it was fuck it, put it in the movie.
Well, if you guys don't see the movie again, and you do buy it on Blu-ray or whatever special, the rated R version of it, definitely look at that fight scene again.
I hope Zack Snyder has commentary on that, and he's just he says that. He's
oh shit.
It's fuck it, we just put it in the movie.
I can't wait.
It was an important scene, kinda.
I can't wait to see the Everything Wrong With and the Honest Trailers.
So,
CinemaSins.
What's
the CinemaSins is gonna tear it apart.
What's the next movie coming out now for us?
Civil War. It was the next superhero movie.
That would be
our next nerd movie.
No,
that's gonna be next
coming out in April.
Nah.
That's April, isn't it?
No.
Oh, that was April.
May.
I think Turtles is the...
No, Turtles is after that.
Turtles
is after that, I think.
I gotta get that meme up where they have the little... Everybody has what every movie is coming out that everybody wants to see. Those are the best. And then now they're checking them off. They're 2016.
Well, they gotta cross out the Gambit movie because that got canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, did it get canceled?
It got delayed. Again.
That movie's getting canceled.
It's getting delayed indefinitely. You know why? Deadpool. That's what happened. Fox owns Gambit, and so now they're like, oh wait, hold on. Deadpool made a couple $100 million. Deadpool was
Are they pushing Deadpool 2 up?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And also,
Deadpool had this budget, and made that much money.
Yeah.
The amount of profit on that movie is fucking ridiculous.
But that was
all
on the back
of
Ryan.
They're like...
Yeah, but that was all on the back of Ryan Reynolds. Like, he did, like, crazy...
He fucking produced that movie.
He produced the movie. He
leaked... Well, he didn't, but they leaked
Someone
the test
leaked
footage.
it. There was 3 people.
One
person.
But yeah.
The first one was in middle finger.
But,
I know. I was like, are you flipping me off?
Yeah. 3 people.
With that being said, Pete flicking off, Greg.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Episode 8.
Episode Super 8.
The Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah, we were kind of full of hate. Hateful
Eight. That's an even better one.
It started Super 8, but then it became the Hateful 8.
I definitely think you guys should go out and see Batman vs Superman and get your own opinion.
Always get your own opinion about movies.
Unless
it's Fantastic Four.
Kind of wish we had more people talking about it because I want to see more opinions of the movie. So I've seen so many people saying. I saw an article earlier about how the critics were wrong. That's why I know the critics made up all these stupid arguments for the movie.
They make up a lot of stupid arguments. They don't know the characters. They just say they enjoy the past ones and that's it. And they base it off of Marvel movies and everything. That's what happens with a lot of the trailers. A lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Variety is probably one of the best ones. And Variety. And it's because they actually critique the movie. And I'm not just talking about like the movie, like we had this
filmmaking.
The filmmaking of it.
Yeah, and also the Rotten Tomatoes score isn't an actual score on the movie. They're not grading the movie 39 or whatever. That's a 39% approval rate.
Yeah, correct.
So 39% of critics approve of the movie or whatever it is.
I thought it was like lower than that.
It's lower now. I think.
It's like I think it's like 29.
It's like 20 something. Yeah.
Somebody posted on my Facebook. They were like, "Oh, we found and they had the Mario Brothers. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The
Mario Brothers did better. Superman Returns did better.
Has a ripe rating of like 69%.
And that movie does not deserve that.
But I went back and I looked. It was really funny because if you see that the one with the Super Mario Brothers going around, they're completely wrong because I literally went and screenshotted it. The current one, and that's at 15%.
It's doc.
So, yeah. So, they're like, "Oh, we finally won one." And I was like, "Well, you're wrong."
Yeah. They just want that movie to be worse than what it is.
Yeah. It's.
I feel like that's unfair to the movie.
Yeah, completely.
I didn't like the movie, but I can understand. There are plenty of things I enjoyed about it.
Yeah.
Like I did enjoy the fight scenes. I think they were fantastic, except for the desert scene.
Yeah. The desert scene was.
Yeah, that was all over the fucking place. I don't know what the hell happened there. They must have
turned that into a meme.
The arm?
Yeah.
I just see this arm like this, and I'm like, why is she laying there? And then he grabs her and drags her like 2 feet, and I'm like, oh, and she's shooting like while he's dragging her, and I'm like,
speaking of dragging, I like that part where he drags Superman, where he's like,
great way.
Like, man, that was good.
Right.
But yeah. Greg waits all day.
We'll see everyone next week on whatever we decide to talk about.
Well,
I'm sure we'll find out.
Well, Flash is on hiatus, which we just
Final Fantasy 15 Ultimate Reveal or whatever was tonight.
Oh shit!
Did we miss that?
We missed that. Shit! I
got invited to that.
You invited to it?
But you have to go all the way to
You have to go to LA, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how
that shit.
Will's in charge of it, and he did the stage production. Yeah. I think Game Over Gregory hosted it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he's not a Final Fantasy fan, but they also brought
Tim Geddes.
Tim Geddes is an old school Final Fantasy fan.
Will was
those two are hosting it in particular. So they have one person who's not a fan at all, and one person who's a hardcore old school Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah. Oh, so that's cool.
So they wanted to show that this game can appeal to both.
Yeah.
Hopefully it does.
So
I'm really looking forward to that game.
Are they showing a trailer for it, or
announcing it?
They announced the release date,
which already leaked. Apparently, it's September 30th.
All right,
we'll talk about that next.
We'll talk about that next week. Yeah. Also, follow us, like and subscribe us on YouTube. We got our Instagram and Twitters on there. Follow us on those because we're posting some funny shit on there.
Shut the fuck up. The Super Mario. All right, we're
ending. Get the fuck out of here.
and that's